Emerson, Lake, and Palmer with Fanfare for the Common Man, only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station. Good morning, Vaqueros. It's DJ Doc V. You're listening to Office Hours here on Friday, January 27th. It's the end of the second week of classes, so hopefully things are going well for you as you're studying and getting accustomed. Read those syllabuses. Read them front to back. It's for your benefit. Believe me. Believe me. It's the most beautiful syllabus you've ever seen. Right, yeah. We've got some great music picked out for you today, Vaqueros. We've got some Kiss, some Joan Jett. It's going to be fun. Some Todd Rundgren. We're going to go take you back. Hello, it's me. That's coming up a little bit later. I got a great poem picked out for you from the 2022 Gallery magazine. Another great production of UTRGV student media, as we do every week. Also, at the bottom of the hour, we've got This Day in History, as we do every week. And thanks so much for listening. Hopefully, you're listening to us on the Radio FX app. If not, it's available. You go onto your app store, or whether you use iOS or Android. Download the Radio FX app. Make sure you favorite Vaquero Radio so that every time you open that app, boom, Vaquero Radio comes on. No problem, right? So got a great, it's 54 degrees here in Edinburgh. A little gloomy out there today. It's kind of drizzling, just enough rain to irritate you as you're making your way to campus today. Looks like high this afternoon of only 60 degrees, so that's a little chilly for us here in South Texas. But let's take a look. 42 degrees in Oklahoma City, 34 degrees in Spokane. Brr. We're not prepared. We don't have what it takes to do 34 degrees here in the valley. So let's get back to the music. Got a great song. In case you missed it, there were some headlines a few weeks ago. The rock and roller from the 60s and 70s, Jeff Beck, passed away. Very influential guitarist. And in his honor, we're going to play a song called Day in the House. This was requested by my buddy Steve out in Spokane. This one goes out to you, Steve. Here's Jeff Beck with Day in the House, only on Vaquero Radio. That's Todd Rundgren with Hello, It's Me. And before that, you heard Bachman Turner Overdrive, little BTO, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. We started off that set with Jeff Beck and Day in the House. That was a request going out to our buddy, my best friend, Steve, over in Spokane, Washington, who's enduring freezing temperatures. Brrr. Oh, you're doing the Lord's work out there, Steve. We know it, that's for sure. Thanks for tuning in, Vaqueros. It's Friday, January 27th, 10:18 in the AM, 54 degrees here on the beautiful UTRGV campus. Little gloomy weather today, but that's all right. We can get through it. Hopefully you're listening to us on the Radio FX app. If not, make sure you download it on your smartphone. This way you can take Vaquero Radio with you wherever you go. And also, if you're here on campus, remember, Valentine's Day is coming up, isn't it? Yep. Valentine's Day. And we're going to have special promotion. We've got some new T-shirts. What? I know, believe it or not, new T-shirts with new design from a local artist, right? Local artist. And, we're going to be giving those away. So make sure you're following us on social media and find out about our Valentine's Day promotional. I think we're going to do a scavenger hunt. And we will be, hiding things around campus. I don't want to blow the whole secret, but it's coming out. So make sure you're following us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. On do we even have to? We're not allowed to have TikTok anymore, are we? No. We can't do it. Well, yeah, you can thank Governor Abbott for that, I guess. So, but we are on other social media, so make sure you're following us. Find out about our Valentine's Day promotional where you can win a sweet T-shirt with that local artist doing a new spaceman logo with a space helmet, and pretty cool. So. It's good stuff. So and we'll be giving that away coming up here soon. So make sure, and also don't forget about your main squeeze. Make sure that you treat them right. Get them some flowers or chocolates or whatever they like. Take them out to a good dinner and Make sure that you're keeping that romance alive. Got to keep the romance alive, baby. You got to keep it alive, right? So for now, we're going to get back to the music, but we're in a bit of a 70s vibe this first half hour, so let's continue that with a little America and A Horse with No Name. Yeah, Brandy, you're a fine girl. There's a little looking glass for you, another little bit of 70s with Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. Before that, 10cc and I'm Not in Love. Started off that set with America and A Horse with No Name, apparently one of our station manager's favorite songs. So I'm really glad to hear that. Make sure we put that on next week, too. Thanks for tuning in, Vaqueros. 10:34 here in the beautiful Edinburgh station. 54 degrees outside. We're looking at a high of 60 and the continuing sprinkles and maybe a little bit of rain showers this afternoon. So be prepared. Make sure you bring your umbrella with you. We do have a great game this weekend. The women's basketball team playing, is it the women's or the men's basketball team? Playing California Baptist tomorrow night, 6:30 in the field house. So if you're in town, remember UTRGV students get into UTRGV athletics events for free. It's going to be a big night. It's going to be some scholarship celebrations. They're inviting faculty and staff. So if you want to go see the Vaqueros take on California Baptist tomorrow night, Saturday, January 28th, in the field house at 6:30 p.m. As we do every week here on Office Hours, we've got This Day in History. And on this day, January 27th, back in 1945, Soviet troops enter Auschwitz, Poland, freeing the survivors of the network of concentration camps and finally revealing to the world the depth of horrors perpetrated there. Auschwitz was really a group of camps designated 1, 2, and 3. There were also 40 smaller satellite camps. It was at Auschwitz II at Birkenau, established in October 1941, that the SS created a complex, monstrously orchestrated killing ground. 300 prison barracks, 4 bathhouses in which prisoners were gassed, corpse cellars, and crematory ovens. Thousands of prisoners were also used for medical experiments, overseen and performed by the camp doctor Joseph Mengele, also known as the Agent of Death. So Auschwitz liberated this day in 1946. In 1970, on this day, John Lennon writes and records Instant Karma in a single day. Quote, I wrote it for breakfast, recorded it for lunch, and we're putting it out for dinner, end quote. That's the way John Lennon told the story of Instant Karma, one of his most memorable songs as a solo artist and the third Lennon single to appear before the official breakup of the Beatles. In 1965, on January 27th, the Shelby GT350, a version of Ford Mustang sports car developed by the American auto racer and car designer Carroll Shelby, is launched. The Shelby GT350 featured a 306 horsepower V8 engine and remained in production through the end of the 1960s. On this day in 1888, the National Geographic Society is founded in Washington, D.C. for, quote, the increase and diffusion of geographical knowledge. The 33 men who originally met and formed the National Geographic Society were a diverse group of geographers, explorers, and teachers. In 1944, the siege of Leningrad is lifted. Soviet forces permanently break the Leningrad siege line, ending the almost 900-day German enforced containment of the city, which cost hundreds of thousands of Russian lives. And finally, in 1996, Monica Seles, Serbian-born tennis player, the former #1 women's player in the world, defeats Anke Huber of Germany to win the Australian Open. This was her first win after she had been stabbed by Gunther Parch, and she returned to win the Australian Open after being injured. Maybe we got one more for you. Look at this one, 1302. On this day this is the oldest that day in history I think I've ever done. In 1302, poet and politician Dante Alighieri is exiled from Florence, where he served as one of 6 priors governing the city. Dante's political activities, including the banishing of several rivals, led to his own banishment, and he wrote his masterpiece, The Divine Comedy. So that's this day in history. Always an interesting topic, always interesting stuff coming out in history from this day in history. We're going to switch up the second half of the show and move away from the 1970s and maybe get your blood pumping. Are you ready for some blood pumping music? Are you ready? I don't know if you're ready. Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay, we're ready. They say we're ready. Here's Joan Jett and the Blackhearts with Summertime Blues, only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station. That's Mountain with Mississippi Queen here on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station. Good morning, Vaqueros. DJ Doc V here with you for just another few minutes. But make sure you stay tuned in because at the top of the hour, we've got the Feminist Hour coming up with DJ Morena Libre.
Yeah.
Right? And her who's the co-host? Do we remember?
JC.
Okay, sure. So make sure you check out the Feminist Hour coming up at the top of the hour. And we've got original programming every day of the week this semester, Vaqueros. So make sure you're tuning in to Vaquero Radio whenever you get a chance. If you're not listening to us on the Radio FX app, make sure you get that from your smartphone's app store. Download it. So this way, if you got Bluetooth in your car, you can hook us up. You can listen to Vaquero Radio wherever you go. Make sure you download that app, search for either UTRGV or Vaquero Radio, and favorite us so that every time you open up that app, boom, you've got Vaquero Radio in your headphones, on your car stereo, or at home. So Vaquero Radio appreciates it, and we make sure that we'll do our best to meet all of our listeners' musical needs. All right. But as we do every week on Office Hours, I got a poem picked out for you. This one seems familiar. I may have recited it before, but you know what? It's really good. So even if I have done it before, here's another one. This one is titled When We Get to the Weird of Us by Kaylee Hernandez. I used to think I wanted to be cool, but I'm not. I don't think I ever was. I was always too smart, too fat, too nice to be cool. I'm taking these books off the shelf for a class, and I realize how weird I've always been. My favorite books are about offbeat people who feel like they don't belong. Stories that are painted in bright colors and told with pictures and words. Always pictures. The pictures bring the light. There's always light. My favorite books have always been weird, unforgiving. I feel like that's fitting. Me too. I'm pretty unforgiving these days. You either like me or you don't. I don't mind. It's not really on my mind or on my radar to be cool anymore. Because when we get into the weird of us, when we dip into that sauce, it's the true essence. It's what makes me, and I wouldn't change that for anyone. I wish I could tell 13-year-old me to embrace those weird books and bands no one else listened to, because now it's what I love about myself most. It's what I make art about. The weird is where I find my light. That's a poem called When We Get to the Weird of Us by Kaylee Hernandez. It's from the 2022 edition of Gallery Magazine. Also available online, so if you're unfamiliar with Gallery Magazine or UTRGV Student Media, make sure you pick up a copy of that or check it out on social media or on the internet. Student Media encompasses Vaquero Radio, Gallery Magazine, also Pulse Magazine, UTRGV's newspaper, The Rider, as well as KVAQ TV. That's right, we got a TV station here. They do a weekly newscast on Mondays. Make sure you check out KVAQ TV. And also, if you're looking for a job, make sure that you are checking out Handshake because there's always vacancies here in student media. Well, not all the time, but, if you're looking for something to do on campus and looking for a little income, make sure you check out Handshake and see if you can work on campus. Almost done here for the day. But I think I'm going to leave you with one, maybe two more songs. I usually like to end with They Might Be Giants, Minimum Wage. We'll see if we have time to do that. But we're going to take you completely in the other direction. We've been doing mostly rock and roll today. That threw that Lady Gaga in there. But here's A Tribe Called Quest with Midnight, only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station.